Where do you see this going? When you look at these kind of emerging technologies, not necessarily emerging anymore, established now, but still, you know, a new thing in relative terms of human history. Where do you see this going? And does it get more intrusive? Does it get deeper into our lives? Like, what when you look at new technologies like augmented reality and things along those lines, do you see new possibilities and new things that make things even more complicated?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we just have to assume that we naturally use more and more technologies, more and more things become open, more and more things increase their velocity. There's more communication, not less. Like this is not going away, and it's just a question of what we do with it. So where I want it to go is, and where I want Twitter specifically to go is, I think it's existential right now that we have global conversations about some things that will become crisis. Climate change being one of them. There's no one nation state that's going to solve that problem alone. Economic disparity being another. The rise of AI and job displacement and just like us offloading decisions to these algorithms. Those are things that no one nation, no one community is going to solve alone. It takes the entire world to do so. So I want to make sure that we're doing our best to get people seeing these global conversations and ideally participating in them, because it helps us solve the problems faster. I just believe that more open society allows us to solve problems much faster.
So you, in many ways, see Twitter as having some sort of a social responsibility in this discussion.
Totally. Yeah, and I think a big part of it is like right now, like how are we ensuring that there is more healthy contribution to that global conversation? And I just think it's so critical that we start talking about the things that are facing all of us, not just one nation. I do think, that's where our current model really puts the world at a disadvantage, because it incentivizes more of the echo chambers, which lead to things like nationalism, instead of taking the broader picture and looking at what's happening around the world to all people, to all of humanity.
What do you do, though, to balance the conversation, or what responsibility do you think you have to balance the conversation in terms of the way conservatives view it versus the way liberals and progressives view it?
Balance it.
But is there a responsibility? Do you have a responsibility, or is it just leave it up to the people and let them figure it out the same way they figured out hashtags and everything else?
I think we have a responsibility to make it easier to do that.
Easier? How so?
Right now, it's just too hard. Most people will not
venture outside of their bubble.
Particular mindset. They will not venture out. They will not break their bubble.
Right.
But because it's right now on the surface, it's just so hard to do that. I can only follow accounts, and I have to look into, and just imagine trying to get an understanding of your own politics. People can't just look at your bio. They have to look through all your tweets. They have to listen to a bunch of your podcasts and whatnot. And that's a bunch of work. If we shift it more towards topics and interest, at least we have the potential to see a bunch more perspectives.
How do you do that, though?
The simplest thing is follow a hashtag, follow a topic. Like, why can't you just follow Warriors Twitter or NBA Twitter? Why do you have to go and find all the coaches and the players and the team? So we can do that. We can help make that a whole lot easier for folks.
So there's something like Brexit or something like that. So if you go to hashtag Brexit, you're going to get the whole conversation. You're going to get the pros, the cons, the left, the right, the whole deal, the centrists. You're going to get everybody, versus following the people that you already follow that agree with what you think.
Yeah. The probability is higher that you'll get more. You'll get more variety of perspective. And don't even follow Brexit. Follow Vote Leave if you want to leave. Mm-hmm. But within that topic, there might be some dissenting opinions, and you get to choose whether those inform you, whether that emboldens your position or not. But and again, I'm not saying that we should force that upon it, but it's not easy to even do that today, right? The only tool we give you is finding and following the accounts. And that...
But people search hashtags. They do search hashtags, right?
They don't. They stay on their timeline. I mean, it is a small percentage of people. The people that really know Twitter know how to do that. But most people, they follow an account and they stay in their timeline. And what their world is their timeline.
Hashtags can be corrupted too. I mean,
totally, they can be gamed. They can be gamed.
Yeah,
and taken over.
I took over hashtag vegan cat. Go to hashtag vegan cat.
What is that?
That's a wrap. That's mine now.